was having a hissy fit.
It just didn't like you that day. It was just like, you know what? We don't want to go live right now.
Well,
It's not safe.
Fine, Twitch. I don't care.
You do care. We see you care.
We see the tears.
Wait, what was Monster thing? We scare because we care.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Such a cute quote.
I try, man. It takes talent to be this amazing.
Yeah, I like his name.
Takes talent to remember monsters in quotes.
Wazowski. Left paperwork on the counter again.
That popped up extra quick this time, Mike.
Oh, it actually did?
Yeah.
Your oven.
It's because Christine's here. It's just like, oh, you actually have someone important on the podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
We actually have someone
we do this again, which I don't mind. So
You're
anything happens
here. I'm down for that. I don't think these boys won't. And then you get to meet our other friend Oktar, who's not here today.
Yo, yes, Oktar. Oh my.
He's a beautiful human being.
It's a wonderful man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said, yeah, it was like it's last week, right? So then next week he should be back.
Yeah, like these guys, they're cool, but Oktar, he's cool.
Yeah, we're all like the B team, and Oktar's like our A team alone.
Yeah, just him alone. It's just him. It goes him,
Without
and
him,
then
we're
just him.
Right.
He must feel very loved.
Yeah, he carries us. He carries
We're gonna
us
show
something
this to
beyond.
him later.
It's a cool name too, actually. Now that I realized it, it's a very interesting name.
It is.
Oh no! The coolest thing too is like what it means. Like Oktar or Brian, do you remember what Oktar's name means? It's something like 1,000 fires or something nuts. It has like a crazy, awesome meaning. It's so cool.
It's the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
I know, right?
Fires.
Yo, we like.
I don't remember exactly what it
I'm
was,
here.
but it's something super cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. Please don't turn off.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like a legendary man.
Flower.
Exactly. Your name means flower. I mean, my name just means judged by God. That's all my
What the
name
heck?
means.
Why does everyone have cool names?
I don't know
I
what my
don't
name
even know
I only know my name.
Brian's like, my name means Brian. I don't.
what does that mean?
Oh, just Google your name and say, what does my name mean? And you'll find some form of meaning.
That's true.
Yeah.
How
Well,
I found mine.
here's the thing, because like Michael, Danielle, it's the EL at the end that like means like God. So like my name means like he who was like God or something like that.
What?
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Something excuse me. Yeah.
But that's why
all.
all the archangels have like Gabriel and stuff like that. It ends with the EL.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing I know about any kind of etymology.
Yeah, that's why I know my name is judged by God, or I'm judged by God, and I think it's like followed by God or something like that.
Mm.
Which is funny because my parents had no clue what that was meaning, and I'm like, "Mom, aren't you religious?" She's like, "Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna mean your meaning." I'm like, "I guess that's just how I am." But I'm, the all amazing, powerful being. So I mean,
There's God in there somewhere.
Right.
yeah, exactly. And this passion fruit is actually not that bad.
You said passion fruit like Drake?
No.
Okay, well, on that
Okay.
note, hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. The Fyre Bar, it is open. If you're listening at home on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, even SoundCloud, we welcome you guys and thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And today, it's kind of a little special podcast. I got the same people that you guys always see. I know you see them all the time. They're still here, but we got a really special guest today. We have, I'll introduce everyone. We got Mike. Mike is here.
Hello, I'm still here.
We got Mo.
Hi.
We got Danny.
¿Qué pasó?
And then we got Christine. She's actually a Nintendo ambassador. I'll let her say hi and everything.
How are you guys? How's everyone?
We're
I
doing
appreciate
good.
you being on today's show. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. Danny asked me to be here, and I was like, girl, I got you. Let me know when, where, what time. East Coast, West Coast, because I wasn't sure. I was getting that confused.
I know. I almost forgot that. I'm like, wait, she lives like on the east. I'm like, yo, I gotta put standard time, the correct
I had to
time.
do math in my head. I'm like, what time would that be?
I would have done the math, but like, oh, it's like Pacific. There you go. I got you. I know all the time zone. I know too many people in every time zone, so I have to learn them all.
You got to carry the one.
Yeah, like Brian, because he lives in a different time zone.
Yeah.
I'm in the same one as you.
No, you're in Texas. You're in a completely different time zone.
Yeah, Texas.
It's the southern time zone, whatever.
What? They don't even what?
The equator time
It has
zone.
its own time zone, actually. I think.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Texas is basically a different country. So as far as I'm concerned, it's
Yeah.
probably like 2 in the morning where you are.
Yeah, like dang.
It's 7:35.
In the
You
morning.
mean 6:30? Yeah.
Yeah.
AM makes totally sense. AM. That's why it's so bright in your background. Why it's so dark for us.
It's so dark out that I have to have like so many. I got lights right here, here, everywhere.
Dude, you're in such a different time zone that it's actually Christmas where you are. That's why you have the Christmas lights up.
Wow.
I didn't even notice that until now. Very festive, though. I mean, I love it.
Wow, man.
I love Christmas lights. Like I can just hang these things around like all year. I love the look of them.
Oh, I agree. Well, my dad definitely agrees too, because he puts up the Christmas lights and then it never goes down. It just stays there until we
It's
move.
festive all the year.
Well, see, that's just being pragmatic. You go through all the effort of putting those up. Why take them down? They look so
Exactly.
pretty.
True.
Only
Very
thing you gotta
true.
get the ladder and you gotta go up
You
there.
gotta get the ladder and whoa.
And then if you're like old, you don't want to like climb up the ladder. What if you fall and then we can't have to catch you? And it's not a fun time. And then if the cat goes on the roof, that's even more of an annoying time.
What?
You can't get outside and on the roof.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. Okay, so like story time, guys. So like our ladder, it doesn't reach obviously all the way to the tippy top. And my dad likes to put at least some lights on the tippy top of the roof just because it will look nice and it's in the front. And so then you have the ladder for the main roof. Well, he ain't gonna use the ladder to get up to the roof because where his office is, it leads to the roof. So we open up the office window. He climbs out, and then when my cat was still here, they would jump on the porch. He would look to the left, look to the right, look at me, and say sayonara, and then jump out, and then just chills and sits on my roof. And then I have to climb out of the roof because he's like, "Bruh, this is like so nice. I'm just gonna chill here." He doesn't move. He just sits there. He just likes the breeze and likes being outside.
Well, that's fair. The cat is a free
Unlike
spirit.
Penny, yeah. Unlike Penny, she try to follow my dad across, and then like I'll turn around, and be like, "Yo, don't move. She's by your foot." And he'd be like, "Why?" And I'm like, "I don't know. She jumped. She's tiny. She's running." So now we have to
Sitting on roofs are fun. When I was a kid, there used to be like outside my window this like sunroof. I used to just like climb out all the time and go sit there. Mike, you remember we used to kind of stand out there sometimes.
Oh
But
yeah,
then
the roof to like the Four Seasons room. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's like a sunroom, 4-season room.
Well, I mean,
But,
Brian,
like-
if you recall, that's how we would break back into your house when we got locked out.
Chrissy's just like,
you guys. Like you guys probably have known each other for a long time then, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I've known Brian since like 6th grade, about.
Wow.
And for reference,
That is-
I'm 28 years old now, so it's been a long time.
Yep.
Jeez.
He's been
Wow.
stuck with me.
Yeah, they're all old.
No, I'm an old man.
I'm the baby of the
I'm
group.
too, but
No.
I still get carded though. Me and my boyfriend still get carded, which is really cool. It's like a nice compliment out of the day.
Right?
Keeping that youth.
They only get carded when they're with me. We go out, they're like, they don't really get carded. But then when they see me, they're like, I need all IDs. And I'm like, you're welcome, guys. Baby face right here. Let's go.
Every group, especially you, Brian.
Oh, God, yes. Especially
I get-
Brian.
I get carded a lot. It's crazy. But
Because you have that baby face. Especially when you shave, it's like...
Oh,
there's-
yeah. Yeah, no, especially when I get rid of this thing, I look so young all the time.
Well,
I mean-
It's weird.
By law, most places are supposed to card anyway, but a lot of places don't just because, they're lazy. And two,
Yeah.
like, it always seems weird if, like, someone who's, like, clearly 50 or older comes in and they're like, can I see your license, young man? And it's like, dude, come on.
Really?
No, you can't.
I'm old enough to be your
Except for
father.
my
Just
boyfriend,
stop.
though. I feel so bad for him. He got carded when I was sick one time, and he's trying to get medicine. And then he also got carded. Like I was standing next to his younger brother, and we watched him get carded for a rated R movie. It was the whole
What, a rated R movie, really?
Yeah, because I'm standing
Wow.
next to his younger brother. His younger brother didn't even get carded. It was just him.
Oh my
So
God.
it's really bad. It's
Wow.
so terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy. I forgot what movie it was, but we were just laughing. That was like the highlight. That was the movie itself, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that was way better than the movie could ever be.
I've never been carded for an R-rated movie. Everything
you
else,
have?
yes. No, not for an R-rated movie. I got carded for freaking buying poppers, the little firework poppers at a store, and then I got denied because my license wasn't horizontal. So they thought it was fake. And I was like,
Wow.
bro, this is real. I turned 21 into 1 week.
Out here with the fake license. Let's go.
Now, what's funny about that, though? I wanted to buy 4 more in a little pouch. But the big package I had, they didn't care. They let me buy that. And that had poppers and more other fireworks and stuff in there. I'm like, yes. This, nope. And they're like, yeah, no, your ID's fake. I don't trust you. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
All right.
No, it's okay. I got revenge. I brought my mom back and my mom. Right. Well, y'all, I'm like you all know my mother. She loves to talk. She knows everybody at That's and Myers, even the store manager. And she is so good friends with the store manager. So we go back.
Wow.
I go to the fast lane. The lady's there again, sees me trying to buy it, comes up to me, and my mom was like in the next fast lane over. And she's like, I'm like, you can't buy this. I told your ID. I'm like, yo, mom, this is the girl who I told you who doesn't believe that I'm going to turn 21 soon. My mom came around. She's like, can I speak? I forgot the lady's name, but she like, that's what she said, the manager's name. And the girl's face like dropped. And I'm like, my mom knows everybody. You're screwed.
I just love the idea that your mom knows like everyone in Myra, probably like on like a first name basis. It's just like, yeah, this is my crew. You're in my neighborhood now.
My mom is just so
hang out.
nice. She doesn't even hang out with any of them. I think she knows, like, I think she hanged out with maybe one of them, but she just knows everybody. She's just a nice person who likes to talk. So
That's
she knows
good,
everybody.
though.
It does because it works out for me.
It's a good trait. It's a good
It
trait. It's not it's who you know.
Right,
Exactly.
All
There's
about
a
that
lot of
networking.
times where it's like, like especially in the gaming industry, I would say it's more of like who you know versus what you know.
It
So
is.
that's how you get the sponsors and all that
Mhm.
stuff. So that's why E3
Right.
was like one of my favorite events because then we would just kind of network the entire time.
You know, actually, like, question regarding that. Do you think they're gonna like do E3 again like they used to before the pandemic, or do you think it's gonna be something where it's just like an online event going forward?
I would want to say that they're going to do in-person events eventually, just because it's so different. When like online, it feels somewhat disconnected, and then in person, you really get a sense of who that person is when you see them.
Right.
In like real life. There's some people that I've met that like are totally different from their online persona, and then like when you meet them in real life, they're just like really quiet and shy, and I'm like, whoa, this is so crazy. But everyone I've met is really, really cool. So I mean, it's just different. It's really different, and I think people kind of miss that interaction too, because I'm a huge hugger, and so the fact that I haven't been able to see people and like talk to people and hug people and get to talk, it's like really weird. It's different. So I hope that they bring back the in life aspect. But
I do too, because like I've never had a chance to go to E3 before, and I would like to go sometime. But that was kind of that was like my fear with the pandemic and everything, is like them realizing like, hey, maybe we don't need to spend all the money to like rent out space for E3 anymore.
Yeah.
And to that point too, like I think there have been a lot of, because didn't Sony drop out of E3? Haven't they done that the past few times?
They did last year, or the year
Oh.
before.
Because for a while it was just Microsoft, Nintendo, right? Oops, sorry.
Yeah, Nintendo was there, PlayStation was there, if I remember correctly. I don't remember anyone really dropping out, but I mean, yeah, I want everyone to experience it because it really is a different beast. It's like really cool, and there's a lot of industry people, and you kind of really learn behind the scenes, because people really only see like the presentations and stuff, but when you're in the industry behind it, it's just another world. And it's a cool world because then now you get to actually interact with people and learn a lot of new things. And that's why I tell anyone, whoever wants to go into the industry, is like, no, go to the conventions, bring your business cards, and just pass that out like crazy. Leave that on tables. I don't know.
Like, this is what I gotta do.
Oh, yeah.
You go to E3, pass out all my business cards, and be like, call me. Let's go.
Yeah, just get a
That's
big
when you
stack of them and
buy.
just like, ah!
Yeah.
Bro, I still have a
Exactly.
stack of them. When I graduated college, we had to make a whole stack.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had to do that for college. I have a whole stack of them, and I have resumes. Make a couple tweaks. You know what? Actually, no, man. The resume part, I'm going to have to reprint. Screw those. But the cards, they're still relevant.
Absolutely.
think
Oh,
email.
yeah. Business cards are like, and you should see it too. Even on the E3 floor, you can just see people handing things like business cards and making deals and stuff. It's crazy.
There we go.
Yeah.
E3. When's the next one? I'm going in.
Yeah, I definitely want to go experience that.
Very interesting. I
I'll
think
pass
the
out
coolest
more.
experience wasn't even because I got to experience it, but I had a I guess a private event with Nintendo, and I brought Jason, my boyfriend, and then his cousin. And as we were going down the stairs, because I'm blind, I can't see anything, honestly. But he, from the corner of his eye, saw Reggie, and Reggie looked up and then winked at him. And he told me afterwards, and I was just like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, that was like the coolest thing." So I go off of like people's energy, and like I kind of experience what they experience when I get to feel their hype, you know. And he just was so excited and so happy, and that kind of like defined my E3 one year, because it was just really cool to see them just fangirl and go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe
very
getting winked at by Reggie is like on my
Yes!
bucket list.
I missed that. I'm blind.
That's a life-changing event.
Yeah.
It was
Brian's
crazy,
face was like,
Dude, Reggie, like is my first time like ever like seeing Reggie as a person when he walked out with, I think the DS, or was it the GameCube? One of those. But I just remember seeing him like this is a titan. I loved him.
This man is a titan. He
very-
won me over
very
at the
bold.
My Body Is Ready line. I'm like, yeah.
oh god.
And that's the coolest thing too, is that the community really welcomed him in. They were open arms. They embraced him. They made memes out of him. Like he was just I would want to say was an icon for the Nintendo community, which was really cool. And it's probably something that he didn't even expect, you know, or nor want, but it just happened.
All right, guys. I gotta get the Reggie's level. He's the Titan. I'll be the tiny person. I got this.
You
I'll
never
become an
know,
icon.
man. Nintendo community can make anyone into an icon overnight. It's cool.
Damn.
How it
All right.
works, so.
It's the next project, everybody. I'll become an icon. Let's go.
Also, it probably doesn't hurt if you change your last name to like a Nintendo name. Like again, Doug Bowser. Having the last name Bowser probably didn't hurt. I'm just saying.
Nope. Probably helped.
I got this. We can put Kirby somewhere in my name. It's all right, guys.
Probably his
Danielle
resume
Kirby.
really only had like, my last name is Bowser.
Yeah, right.
So-
It's like, my last name is
You're
literally
fired.
Bowser, so
Yeah.
You gotta hire
your
me.
move.
That's all he did. Just put his resume in. So just bold text, last name Bowser.
To be like,
He's in.
Very, very cool.
give the resume.
So-
All right, sir. Don't come back. You're back. You're hired. You're good. What? You're good. Let's go.
Right.
Start
So
now.
as like a Nintendo ambassador, have you got to meet like, I guess like big like other Nintendo icons?
Yeah. So I actually did get to meet Doug Bowser, which is really cool.
Oh.
And it's so hard sometimes too, because during E3, like they're all just running around, and you can tell they're stressed. They love their job, but they're like under pressure all the time. So for him to have taken a little bit time out of his day to go say hi, it was really, really sweet. So
Aw.
not only that, but I mean, I'll meet a lot of other Nintendo brand ambassadors. So we have like Abdallah, Roger Base, who else? There's a lot of people in the community, and that's the cool thing too, is that you just get to meet all these different types of people, because everyone games at the end of the day,
Right.
whether
Yeah.
it be Nintendo,
Exactly.
Facebook, whatever. Everyone's playing something, especially during that whole phase in our life that we don't want to talk about last year. Everyone was playing Animal Crossing. But everyone plays, you know, video games, and that's the coolest thing, is that I mean, even John Cena plays video games. Like
Yeah.
there's a ton of people. And so the fact that like Nintendo brings everyone together and we can communicate and talk is just like, and that's where I think ideas foster too. You know, when you make connections, ideas just bounce off of each other, and you can see that like passion flowing. You know, so I think that's the most important aspect of it, because people don't realize, like, you know, when you meet someone and you have like the same passion, like I can bounce off 20 ideas in like an instant and be like, oh my God, wouldn't it be cool if we did this or you did that, you know? So that's what I miss the most, I think, actually, is just meeting people, meeting all the ambassadors and stuff. So
I gotta meet more ambassadors. The only one I met was you. I gotta get down to the list.
I'm on it. Well, yeah, they're all really cool. Let me know if you got a list. I mean,
Bruh, hug a sister.
She's like, I got
I'll
them
go
all
down the
on speed
list.
now.
yeah.
I'd be like, all right, just send me your way. We need a, you know, connect. What's up?
I mean, like, it's just really, really cool. And that's the thing too that I like about Nintendo, is that they really don't care about numbers. Like I don't know if people realize this, but I mean, when I was put into the program, I barely had like a following, in my honest opinion, compared to other people. And it really comes down to like the content that you're creating and the type of person you are, you know. So just seeing all these other Nintendo brand ambassadors, they really bounce off ideas of you and you get inspired. Like my favorite event ever was when they took us to LA for the Luigi's Mansion 3 event, and we all stayed in the same hotel room. I kind of want to knock on all their doors and play a prank on them, but you know, I didn't do that. But it was just really cool. It was like a sleepover with all these content creators, you know? So it was very, very cool. Very, very cool.
No, that sounds awesome. And I think there's something to be said about like the raw creativity of all the Nintendo content creators. Because to me, that's like the one thing that Nintendo has always been about in my mind, is just like, what can we do that's like interesting and fun and that, you know, other people haven't done before. That's what I appreciate most, especially about Nintendo games, is, again, I don't know how they go about coming up with new games, but it always seems like if you were a fly on the wall during like a pitch meeting, it's just like, I have this really neat idea for just like a very simple but creative gameplay mechanic, and then from there, the ideas explode into something huge and unbelievable. And that's like the coolest thing in the world to me. I love seeing that.
No, very, very cool. I think it's really nice to see not even just Nintendo, but a lot of companies reach out to content creators, because they know that they're starting to get that type of drive where it's like they're pulling in those crazy numbers. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about TikTok, but wow, I mean, is their audience so amazing, so creative? I'm just like, how do you work this thing? And I'm just looking at them, just, I mean, turn out content that's so witty, and sometimes it's so meaningful too. Like it's just a fresh of breath air, like compared to, you know, like Instagram, where there's a point where I was just like, I don't get Instagram. It's no longer a social media platform that I feel like helps content creators. And that's why I'm very like interested in TikTok, you know, because I'm just glad that companies are now saying like, oh, maybe we should listen to influencers, especially during this time where none of us can go out, you know, we're all kind of staying home, being safe, you know, so really the only way to market is through content, you know. So they're reaching out to a lot of people, you know. Very, very cool.
I like.
Yeah, I wish I understood TikTok at all, but I think I'm just too old for it. Every time I see TikTok, I'm just like, I don't get it, but I guess it's cool.
It's so creative. I really want to give like a props to the TikTokers, because like I can't dance, first off. So when they pull off those moves, I'm just like, how do you do that? Can't remember the first 3 steps, you know, and then controlling the camera and knowing when to press the button. I'm like, I can't do this.
I just see TikTok, think of Vine, and I'm like, I sucked at Vine. I'm not going to be good at TikTok.
I agree with you there. Absolutely. Yeah. I can't. I'm just going to stick to making art.
Yeah. Making arts and creating memes 24/7. Baby.
Well, we missed the Vine train, Brian. I think it's time for the TikTok train.
All right, let's do it mode together. You and me.
Oh God.
I'll get up on the roof.
Why is always roofs with you?
We had the plan, bro. I had to jump off.
Everyone's on the roof. I was on the roof.
The roof is a great place to be.
Yeah, the last podcast, Mo was just randomly talking about his roof for like 5 minutes straight for the podcast. We have no idea.
He would not stop. It was terrible.
Listen,
Hey, it's better than his other topic that he talks about.
So, it must be gorgeous at night to see at least all the stars and stuff.
I'm just saying, my roof is looking pretty good right now. We just got it done like today. It's fresh.
How long did your webcam cable go?
Oh, don't
Just bring the whole system.
We're gonna catch Mo just one day at a podcast just laying out on the roof.
You have to, I think, one day at least do it from your roof. If you can set that up, that'd be so.
I'm gonna have to make it happen now.
I mean that sounds pretty chill. At that point, just like go mobile and get your phone, and just everyone has a podcast on the roof.
Yeah, that would be very, very cool.
I can get on my roof. I live in a townhouse, so
You got a ladder.
There's a roof somewhere. Yeah, just go.
I don't have a ladder.
Someone's got a roof somewhere.
Yeah, just
It doesn't have to be yours necessarily. It just has to be a roof.
Okay, I'll go to my parents' house. There we go. I'll stream it from my phone.
There you go.
And that's the thing, though. Like going live now is like a huge thing. Like in real life streams, which popped off during quarantine. So I mean, like content creating is just, if you can come up with a unique idea, go for it. The more unique it is, the bigger chances of you really popping off. Because that's what people are really looking for. It's like what makes you different from everyone else.
Right.
Roof streams. Let's go. Make it a thing. Bring the PC out on the roof. Let's go.
It's all like a Fyre bar. It's Fyre roof.
Yeah, we're just trendsetters. I'm telling you.
I kind of do want to try one of those in real life streams, though. Go somewhere like really pretty and just sit there and talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do like a nature stream.
Yeah.
Ooh, we could.
That would be really nice. There's like a lot of people that are trying to come up with ideas on YouTube. Like someone cooks out in the wilderness, and people love watching that. Yeah,
what?
It's really tranquil.
You can watch that.
They're watching that.
Right?
Yeah,
I love cooking.
I suck at cooking. I can't cook. So, you might have to teach me, but
well, whenever I see, I'll cook you up something nice. I love cooking. It's like a fun
recipes.
hobby for me.
I'm terrible at cooking.
Brian is like the master chef out of the group here.
Oh my god, yes. I love when he comes to visit and makes food because like
wait. Close by each other?
Well, Mo lives in another state from
another
us.
state.
Another state.
Yeah, Mo's in Jersey. Brian here's in Texas. Me and Mikey are in Illinois. So we're all over the place.
Okay. So wait, Mo's from New Jersey?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My boyfriend's from New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, and I went there one day,
bros.
and then it was so funny because he told me stories of his childhood, and he was just like, when we were kids, we used to run out in the wilderness and grab a ton of fireflies. And I'm like, that sounds so cool. So when we got there, he was just like, okay, let's get a jar. We're going to catch so many. By the end of the night, we only caught one.
So that is a thing, but we
for
did it a little differently over here.
For a split second, I thought you were going to say dragonflies because Mo has a story about dragonflies.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Mo, you want to tell her about this dragonfly story?
This is actually the second time I'm telling this story today. Somebody asked at work, like, so I was a kid, as we all were one day. And with my friends, we did a bunch of various stupid things as kids do. And one of those things were running through groups of dragonflies just minding their own business. So I decided, man, I'm going to take it up a level. I took my shirt off and I ran through a group of dragonflies. Now, I heard that they don't sting you or anything. That is a lie. Unless there was a bee mixed in with these dragonflies. I got stung in like the back of my neck. And let me tell you, I've never ran home as fast as I did that day ever, crying.
So sorry. That sucks. That's so dangerous.
It really never happened.
That's why I was
to
like gonna
anybody.
freak out when you're like, yeah, my boyfriend used to like run into hordes of dragonflies. I'm like, why is that a thing in Jersey?
That's just what we
no,
do.
no fireflies, but wow, that sounds really intense.
And in the rock story, they threw rocks
yeah.
at each other.
Yeah,
Mo-
we used to
Mo
throw
had a
rocks
really
at each other.
weird childhood.
We would chuck
He's our
rocks
special boy.
up in the air at each other and like dodge them, and one day somebody didn't dodge it and ended up like cracking his head open and he had to go get stitches. He was back that afternoon though, and we proceeded to throw smaller rocks at each other.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really learned the right lesson there. It's like, you know what, the rocks might be too big.
Yeah, they're too big. Just
I'll get the smaller ones next time. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Well, because like everyone has had a different childhood, you know? Like when I talk to Jason, who's from New Jersey, he is out in the wilderness with, you know, I don't know, like moose and bears and, you know, deer. And
Just
I'm not
riding
like,
moose.
Moose. Okay, because we don't have that here. I live in the desert, and so like the only thing I've ever seen is like taxidermied moose at like maybe Bass Pro Shops, and I'm like, are they really that big? And he's like, they're huge, and so I'm like,
they
that
are.
is gigantic. So I remember when I did go visit New Jersey. Everyone was so concerned because there's deer jumping in the road, but I was like, oh shoot, that's a deer. I've never seen one. We almost died, but I mean, I was just like, that's such a cute deer.
Yeah,
Died,
those-
But it was
those
so
darn
mystical,
deer,
you know, it would have been a
man.
wonderful death.
Yeah, I think so too. I was just like, wow, you know, so I mean, I've gone camping. Funny enough, I'm camping this weekend. And like, yeah, and so I think my biggest fear obviously is like a bear.
Sure, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Understandable. Yeah.
So scary. I mean, and like sometimes at night, you know how you can hear, like, because the woods is just so pitch dark and it's absolutely quiet. You can hear everything. And I remember, long story short, we were supposed to do like a double, like a couples camping trip, and it was me and then another couple, and we got there early and we pitched up the tent and everything. And we were really happy. So we're just like, oh, shoot, we got here early. We're set to go. We'll take pictures. And then we later realized, like midway through the day, that it's the wrong camping site.
Oh, no.
So we had to take down the canopy, the tent. We didn't even like take everything down. We kind of just stuffed it in the car and then started driving to find our right spot. And here in the middle of the night, where there's owls and like just the pitch darkness, we're trying to pitch up everything. And so it was just so scary. And then our friends didn't get there until like later on. So it was just us in this tent in the middle of the woods by ourselves. And at one point we were really scared.
Have you got scared enough? We have a car. We can just jump right back inside.
We weren't thinking at that point. We were just like, you know what? I think it's safe in this tent.
We out here.
Out of really
Too
thin
late.
sheets
Yeah,
of plastic.
it's true though. When you're like out camping and like the pitch darkness, you're not thinking about like, oh, I have a car, I can like, you know, I'll be safe. You're just like, there's a cult of bears out there and they have it out for me, man. Like,
Yeah.
they got my number, they're looking for me.
I was like,
They
you know
come
what?
for that
We're
booty.
just gonna stay still.
Well, the worst part is like so where I'm from, we have like a bunch of like coyotes in the area. And I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever heard like coyotes like wrestle or do whatever they do in like the woods, but it's like terrifying because it almost sounds like demonic little children fighting.
Yeah.
And so you're just outside in the pitch darkness and you hear that and you're like, oh, it's demons. It's just demons.
It's just demons.
Funny
It's
enough,
terrible.
we get coyotes coming down because I live so close to the mountains, the desert
Mhm.
mountains. I don't want to get anyone confused. It's really just cactus. And so like you'll see coyotes coming down and they sound like hyenas.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like the best
crazy.
description I can give. It's so
They do.
weird.
They're weird little creatures, man. I remember in my neighborhood when I first moved in there, all the houses were in build or whatever. And so I remember one day I was in my bathroom and I looked out the window and then all you see is like these beady little eyes and there's a coyote in our backyard. And the neighbor behind us had like some produce, whatever they were growing. So it was like attacking that, like trying to get some food and just staring at them like, oh. And I was like, can you go outside and grab this? I'm like, nah, why? I'm like, there's a coyote in your backyard. I ain't going out anywhere. I'm staying inside. You can survive with it until tomorrow morning.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're scary.
goodness.
Dude, wild animals can be very scary. We even had like a mountain lion come down.
Oh.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
had to
snap.
like pest control, relocate, you know. It's alive. They relocated it.
You have to get up out of here, buddy. Sorry.
leave the house, I'd be like, yeah, I'm calling to work today. There's a mountain lion out here. I'm staying home.
It's very, very scary sometimes. But I mean, honestly, nothing really happens. But I think it's just a lot scary in New Jersey. Because Jason told me before that there was like a bear at his garage door one time, and I was like, I can't deal with that. I'll deal with the coyote.
New Jersey's just a scary place. Like
we get bears and we get
Deer.
evolving deer.
What?
The next evolution in deer technology.
Story time.
Story number 2 for the night. So, me and my mother used to live in a townhouse, and there's like a dumpster that we go and throw our trash out in. So, it's the middle of the night, maybe like 9:30. My mom's like, "Hey, take out the trash." I'm like, "You know what, Mom? I got you. I'm gonna do that." So, I go over to this dumpster with the trash bag, minding my own business, mind you. And I hear a little something coming from behind the trash can. I'm like, it's probably just a raccoon or something. So, this traumatized me forever.
It's okay, man. Deep breaths. You got this.
I don't want to bring back PTSD.
No, it's okay. Bring
No,
back.
it's all right. I go to throw the trash bag into the dumpster, and a deer comes running from behind the dumpster, literally smacks the trash bag down out of the air with its head, and then runs off. So I'm like, all right. And then another one comes out and runs off after that one. So I did what any normal person would. I ran home.
Yeah, fair.
And from that day, I never took the trash out at night ever again.
Sounds like a really talented deer, though. You'd be really good at basketball. You know what I'm saying? And when it goes for the hoop, no, not today.
There's a reason why these deer are so... I've had a vendetta with them. It started when some deer came up on like my backyard, and I fed them chicken strips one day, which was the mistake. They got the taste of meat that day. So
Do they eat meat?
it ate my chicken
These deer
strip.
do. Mo taught them how. Now they have a taste for flesh.
I didn't even know deer like don't eat meat, and it just ate my whole chicken strip. It must have been super hungry or something. And it was around Christmas time as well. I was seeing my mother off to work that day at like 5:30 in the morning. We opened the door, and there's just 5 deer just standing on like the blacktop out front of our house. And I'm like, Mom, don't go to work today.
I feel like all the deer are just like, you want the good stuff? Just go to Mo's house. Let me show you. We're just going to chill on his lawn. It's fine. He doesn't mind. He's my best friend.
I absolutely
We go way back.
hate that.
He fed me some stuff. I don't even know what it was. I think it was me, but
they just thought everything was sweet, and I'm like, y'all literally attacked me the other night indirectly. No, I'm good.
There was one day, Mo. I don't know if that was the same time, but there was one day I remember you back when we used to play a lot on the I think it was Xbox. He came running up, and like he was still like in the Xbox Live party, and like from where he was in his townhouse, you can hear everything that happens in that house. Everything just echoed, and I remember just like something happened. I hear just him hurrying up the stairs, grabs his microphone, like, dude, there's a horde of deer. I'm gonna have to fight them all.
Oh, they would not go away. I'm like, I might have to square up, I guess, with some animals. Like
they're like forming a perimeter around your house.
You want meat?
they were out in broad daylight, like just out front of my house. I'm like, yo, y'all don't do this. What is going on? Why?
You're
what
the
have I done?
whisperer.
I don't want this power. I cannot wait to get out of New Jersey.
It'd be so funny if you're just walking down the street and someone's like, "You have a deer following you." You're like, "Yeah, I know."
I'm aware. There's nothing I can do about it.
It's Wednesday. They follow me.
If you ignore it, it's not there.
Oh my gosh.
I do have cats that randomly come up to me though. That's pretty cool. Like
animals in general.
Yeah,
you gotta get a cat.
I do want a cat. I want a dog and a cat one day. To be honest.
I feel like you'd be like a Disney princess. You know how they sing and then birds come through the window?
I was just about to say that. I was convinced that Mo's a Disney princess.
That's Mo, our resident Disney princess.
Yo, I'm drawing that up. Mo's the new Disney princess. And all right, let's go.
I literally sat on the ground one day. I was out with my friend, and there was a cat like at least a good 30 feet away from me. I just sat down, didn't do anything, and just walked right over and got in my lap. I'm like, that's what's up.
Dude, that stuff is wild when that happens. Like for some reason, like that's happened to me a lot with birds. Because like there was one night, like this was years back when like Pokemon Go first came out. I was like downtown just playing Pokemon Go with a group of friends, and then suddenly I feel something like fluttering on my shoulder. And again, it's nighttime, so I don't see what it is. I'm like, what is going on? And some dude behind me is like, dude, there's a bird on your shoulder. I'm like, what? My friend took a picture of it, and there's just this bird just chilling out, and like I had a hoodie on, so it was just kind of like in the corner of my hood, and it like chilled there for like half an hour. So cool. It was insane.
Wow.
But then Brian, do you remember Jeremy? Was that his name? The bird that you had?
Yeah.
What were we doing? We were at your house. It was like some party or something.
It was my birthday party.
Was it your birthday? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Whatever. It wasn't important. Anyway, so we were outside, and this what was it, like a parakeet or something? What kind of bird was it?
Yeah, it was like a parakeet. We think that got out or something.
Yeah, like this random like parakeet just kind of flew into Brian's tree in his backyard, and everyone's like, "Yo, what? It's a bird. We got to try to get it." And everyone was like trying to like reach the bird or whatever. I just stood there and put my finger up like this, and it just came to my finger and landed on top of it. And I was like, "Ah, I'm the bird whisperer."
Yes.
Everyone here controls animals then. So if you're a deer, right, you control birds. What does Brian control?
Oh, I don't know. That's actually a good question. I mean, I've had some running with ducks. Does that count?
There you go.
That's cute.
I'm cats. All cats come to me.
I was back when I lived in San Francisco a few years ago. I worked over in this little like kind of like area. It was called Jack London Square. They kind of like redid it. It's like beautiful. You can see like the bay and the city, you know, on the other side. But they had like this nice, Mike, you remember that area that I'm talking about, right? It's kind of like you could like this steps, and they kind of led down to like the water, and you can kind of like sit there on the steps. It's so pretty. But I was just sitting there one morning because I got there super early because I was working at Verizon and they weren't open. It was like one of my first days. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm guessing I'm gonna sit here on these steps. I'm an hour ahead of time. Great. So I just started sitting there, and I'd see like this little family of ducks, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. And I was like eating some crackers, and I like started throwing some to them, and then like these little ducks started eating it, like this little family. And then I watched from underneath the dock just a horde of ducks just all coming. I'm like,
oh god,
I don't got enough crackers for all of you. So I'm just like whipping them out quickly, and then they just keep coming closer. I'm like, oh no. So I'm trying to like get up and walk away, and I got like these ducks just kind of following me.
That is too cute. You know how like have you seen that like mother duck and then you see the ducklings follow? I feel like that would happen to you. Like someone's gonna is just gonna imprint on you, and that's it.
You'll become one with the ducks. One duck, two duck, three
Man,
duck, four.
Can I trade with someone? I don't want to whisper to deer.
You don't get to choose, man. It's just the power you have.
You're the whisperer of deers, Brian's of ducks, Mikey here is birds, and then I'm cats. I'm good.
Well,
yeah, we're like the Captain Planet kids, just like by our powers combined.
And you guys have summoning animals just behind you.
No.
I'm a unite.
If I could trade in, I would trade mine in for red pandas because I love those things.
Oh my god, red pandas are the best.
They are so freaking adorable, and I cannot handle it. They're way too cute. Way too cute.
That's way too cute. I know my boyfriend would love Tanuki.
Tanuki.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, I love those little guys.
Mo's face over there. He's like, I'm still mad. I'm a freaking deer whisperer over here.
Yeah, can I get like a snow leopard or something?
Nah, I called dibs. I got cats.
Yeah, can I get an elephant, something, anything, please?
Be an elephant whisperer.
I think,
Right.
like, you know, like Mikey said, you don't choose. It just happens.
This is
Right.
So I'm sorry, you're stuck with that.
This is rigged, man.
Yes.
Life's really not fair.
With great power, Mo, comes great responsibility.
What am I supposed to do? Keep feeding them chicken strips?
Yes, because then one day the deer will rise up and they won't hurt you. but they will attack your enemies.
Just so many abnormal things happen to me. Like, I get stung by animals that aren't supposed to sting you. I feed animals food that they're not supposed to eat. What the heck?
Yeah,
New Jersey
it's
sounds like a
karma.
weird place. I like I said, I've only been there once, but very interesting place.
I too
lot
have
of-
only been to New Jersey once, and I can confirm
all-
it is a weird place.
It is weird, yes.
Yeah.
I have been to Texas though. I've been to Texas. I've been to Austin, Texas. And that
Oh,
was
I have yet to be there. I actually just came here 2 years ago, so I'm not actually from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from where we at.
Yeah,
Oh.
I kind of moved around a lot. Like I went from like LA to San Fran to now here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I moved around way too much.
Do you prefer where you are now, or do you miss San Francisco, or?
San Francisco actually is a very gorgeous place. Like I actually really adore like everything about San Francisco. It's just really pricey.
It's very pricey.
Yeah,
The
I
apart-
agree.
yeah, the apartment I was paying for was $3,200, and I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot.
And mind you, it was like I mean, it was nice, but it was like a tiny 1-bedroom apartment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What
That
the heck?
much.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
It was a
I
rip
know a lot of Californians moving over to where I live. So
Yeah, there's been like a mass exodus of Californians just because of like
Mhm.
rising prices and stuff.
yeah.
And again,
like my room.
Brian wasn't even like in San Francisco. He was like on the other side of the bay. He was like more closer
Yeah.
to like Oakland, really.
Yeah, so if San Fran's over here, you have the Long Bay, then Oakland. I was a little bit further back because Oakland's the ghetto in my eyes.
You're not wrong.
But then you would go a little bit out and you would take this train. I lived in this little area called Pleasant Hill. Gorgeous, gorgeous area.
Yeah,
I
it
was
really
like,
lived up to the name.
Was
I was
it
gonna say that
pleasant?
too. I was like, it really was pleasant. Wow.
yeah, beautiful place, super expensive, but
Jeez. You weren't even in San
terrible.
Francisco, so you can imagine how expensive it would be if you were in San Francisco. That's
Yeah,
just crazy.
when I was living in LA and when I was transitioning to San Francisco, I was actually looking at places in the city, and the city is way more expensive. But I really was trying to get one because I always wanted to have an apartment that had bay windows. It's like a thing that I want so bad, like in a house or a building. I just adore bay windows. And I'm like, gosh, I can't justify the price for the windows. All I want are the windows, and I can't justify this price.
I like how that's like your ultimate dream is just bay windows.
Basically.
Very easily content, which
Well,
is a
yeah,
good trait.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
see, like I'm really big on like natural lighting and stuff like that, and like I just love the idea of having like either like having the bay window and having kind of like a ledge where you can kind of have like pillows and stuff. You can kind of like sit on there. I like coziness. I like just being cozy, having pretty scenery and things like that.
Yeah, that's why I love
Understandable.
nature. Yeah,
Mhm.
nature is like that getaway where you kind of just can like recollect yourself. You know, I always tell my friends, so I have like this story because like I have a friend who's in med school, and med school is like absolutely ridiculous. I feel like it would turn anyone crazy, honestly. And I could tell he was just like stressed and overwhelmed. And at the time, I didn't have a dog, but I took him to the dog park anyways. And we kind of just sat there. We just like looked at all the dogs, you know, going by. And I told him, I was just like, oh, you know, like life is so complicated. You know, sometimes you just need to like simplify it, you know, like,
Ooh.
you know, because then it kind of puts everything that you want in your life into perspective. Because I think
Mhm.
I feel like overall people are very simple. Like you just want a house, 2 dogs, you know,
Right.
maybe some kids if you want, you know. But yeah, I mean that's really it, you know. So and then after that, he was like totally fine. So, which is really really cool. I just try to tell all my friends like, yeah, just simplify life. Why make life more complicated? Because it already is super complicated.
Mhm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Every single day. I wake up and I'm like, here we go.
Here we go
Every
again.
day.
What can I make more to struggle with?
True.
What do you got for me today?
Yeah. No, you're right though. Like nature really like puts things into perspective in that regard. Like that's a nice thing. Like where I live, there's a bike path that like goes through the woods and like along a creek and stuff like that. And that's kind of like my zen place when like life is just like too much and it's like, okay, I just need to go outside in the sun and just be surrounded by nature and just forget all the other stuff. it helps.
Mhm.
It's so good for mental health.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. See, like I like nature, but nature doesn't like me.
Oh,
So if I'm around nature for too long, like mostly like plants and everything, I'll break out in hives. So it's
Oh, you have
like
allergies.
I'm allergic to everything in this point.
oh.
Allergic-
Oh.
If it's too hot, I'll break out in hives. If it's too cold, I break out in hives. Chlorine, I break out in hives.
If the wind
Nature,
blows on me,
If
hives.
there's oxygen, break out in hives.
Hive, no, basically. But I
Take
love
one
nature.
breath and then
Mhm. You know,
Oh, I
I'll have
feel
hives.
you, I
I'll be like scratching myself, and then I'll be like, yo, I'm scratching myself too much. And I'll look down, I'll be like, uh-huh. I'm like, uh-huh. I'm like, all right. Looks like I'm gonna die. Not going to, but then everyone else looks at me like,
This is
you
it.
need to go to the hospital. I'm like, nah, it's just itchy. Give me Benadryl.
Yeah,
See-
you know, actually, it's crazy that you say that because I've never really shared this with anyone. But I definitely want to say, like, maybe last year I got diagnosed with atopic dermatitis, which is basically like an inflammation of the skin if I get too stressed out. And it's kind of funny at the time because like I'm the type of person that Googles things, and I didn't know what it was. And my boyfriend's a nurse, so like obviously I came to the conclusion that I had cancer.
Yeah, that happens anytime you Google symptoms for anything.
exactly.
No.
Anytime.
But
dying.
no, it's just like so insane because you never really know how your body's gonna react. And I even went to an allergist and like, so you can either request to get your blood drawn and then run tests to see what you're allergic to, or you can just do the 72 stabs on your back so you can get immediate results. And so I went for the 72 and I was like, it's a lot of stabs. But then I found out I'm allergic to planet Earth, so.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you're
First
allergic to
line.
life,
Not as
so
bad as you, Dan.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as you, but I feel you. I feel your pain.
Damn.
So, real quick, I don't mean to actually switch gears real quick. I just really want to say that I adore your amiibo videos.
oh my god,
I-
yeah.
I was no, not to switch focus onto you, but I mean you are a special guest. I want to like highlight you now. For a
Yeah,
moment.
not to like talk about you or anything, but no, like the amiibo, like I've watched those too. You are insanely talented. That is so cool.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy how it started because, like, my friend from Japan gave me an amiibo, and I was just like, oh, you know, I'm just going to do a crossover of Jason's favorite character, which is the Flash and Pikachu.
Ah, yeah.
I love
really
that one.
cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
no.
So yeah, he did that, and it turned out really cool. Posted a picture, and then suddenly everyone really just wanted more. So I got
more.
stuck doing that, which was really, really cool. I mean, I loved it. I cherished that moment in my life because that's how I even became a Nintendo brand ambassador. You know, so and it's really allowed me to not only be really creative, but I've gotten to meet so many people because everyone plays Super Smash Bros. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone plays it. All the characters there except for Waluigi. But
Don't
One day.
remind
One
me.
day. One day.
That wound is still
Guys,
fresh.
We got him. It's a skin, okay? We got him as a mini character. We're
It's
good.
not enough. It's not
Is
enough.
that the same? I need to hear that. Wow.
right, and that's what I'm hoping for. Like as their last reveal, you know, of the fighter pass, that would be the craziest thing if they did that.
Nintendo, just give us what we want. You know what we want. Just give us Luigi.
See, they
Who
thought they
knows?
could get away with the assist trophy.
Yeah,
Not
that's
good
not
enough.
gonna fly.
No.
It's not gonna fly.
No,
We demand.
unacceptable.
We demand. Unacceptable.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no-
I mean, I just love making amiibos. You know, like I wanted to combine two things that I loved, which was art and video games, and that's how I did it. You know, so very, very interesting.
Yeah, because I was watching like a lot of like your process of that, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, this is really like relaxing, like kind of just watching you like do everything. I'm just like, this is really nice, and like I'm super impressed. Was like very impressed with like paint skills. I can't do that.
Dude, I don't understand how anybody paints anything. Like I've been drawing since I was like, I don't know, 4 years old, and then every time I try to paint something, it's a mess. It is disgusting.
Painting is another technique, man. It's
It
like
really is.
It is. But I tell everyone, like, because I wish I had the first picture of my first custom amiibo, because I like to show it. I like to show people that it sucked. It sucked. But, with practice, truly anyone can pick this up. It just is that consistency and that determination, to want to see it to the end. And honestly, I got into drawing because as a kid, we had like the 150 Pokemon, like the original.
Yes.
And like I remember trying to draw Blastoise, and just every time I would mess up, I would just retrace it over again. I like literally sat there until I got it right.
Wow.
So I tell everyone, if you're really determined, like, no, you can do whatever you want. You just have to have that tenacity and that drive, So, no, painting's another beast. Everything is different, right? Drawing, painting, clay work, it's all really different, but and that's why it takes a little bit longer to learn each, but it's not impossible, is what I tell everyone.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I agree 100%. And like you said, it's just about sticking with it and just getting better and better over time. Like I'm really big into like film, and I'm trying to learn more about those techniques. Like I went out of my way. I bought a green screen. I like bought all this stuff. We have this camera, like this really nice DSLR camera, and it's like I need to learn how to like use this stuff. And so far I'm no good at it, but I'm gonna stick with it and see what becomes of it. But
I give everyone who's in the arts, because even like videography and editing is an art form, and trying to learn new programs and trying to learn the lighting and the right aperture and whatever, it can get really daunting, and sometimes it kind of is like it forces or puts you in the mindset of like, oh, I want to give up because this is too hard. But like I feel like a lot of content creators go through that because of having to learn all these different things: filming, editing, shooting, lighting. Like, that's so much for one person to learn, And so I give props to a lot of content creators nowadays that just want to learn and are very enthusiastic. And regardless, by the end of the day, they're going to set up the DSLR, So, I mean, props to you. I love it when I get to see people in their element, in their natural habitat, whatever art form that is, acting, singing, there's so many. So.
There's just so much stuff. There's not enough time in the day to practice them all.
That also is very true. Absolutely very true. You can learn so much, like, thank God for like YouTube, but you can learn so much on the fly. Where people had to actually go to school to learn it, but now it's like, no, just Google it, and now there's just too much to learn.
Right.
So
I know, man, like all the stuff I learned in my art school, I learned even more techniques outside of art school. All I had to do was Google it. Do you know how mad I was about that? How much money I spent on that freaking degree and trying to
Yeah, it's like me. I went to college for film, and I'm like, I could have learned all this on YouTube.
You just need the paper.
Yeah. Well, again, to be fair though, like, going to college and going to school, like you at least have access to tools that most people don't unless they already have like a ton of money. And again, you get to build a portfolio and stuff too, which is super valuable, especially if you're trying to do any kind of creative work. But no, I agree. At the end of the day, it's just about like being determined and like seeing through any project to the end. And again, whenever if you start out in the beginning, it's never going to be great, but you do get better. I mean, I've been making videos for YouTube since like 2014, and all of them are bad, but they're like getting less bad. So it's like, it's a slow process, but it's happening.
That's how I feel too. It's okay. Yeah. So I look back at my old videos, I'm just like, oh gosh, but I'm gonna leave it up anyways.
No, I think it's really great to leave that stuff up. I think it's awesome to look back and be like, man, I actually have improved quite a bit. It's super cool to see.
And that's really good that you say that too, because I feel like people nowadays, since we live in such a fast world, people are expecting an immediate end result, and like they're expecting them to go from YouTuber to overnight sensation. And it really honestly is this whole journey. So I feel like people get really disheartened in the middle of it because they're just like, man, this is not like panning out the way I want it to. But they have to realize, like, truly look at where you started and then look at where you are now. And the small steps matter. Like, if you're expecting those huge jumps, you're going to be disappointed majority of the time. You know, if you set small goals, those small accomplishments carry you on to the next goal, you know? So I tell anyone, like, try not to get discouraged, because I used to fall in that track. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who, fell into that mindset of like, oh man, like my numbers are falling, or like the video's not getting the amount of views that I want it to. But I have to remind myself, like, oh, where did I start? And where am I now? And it puts you in that peaceful place where it's like, okay, well, keep working, keep working at it. You never know in the next couple of years.
No, 100%. And it's so easy to compare yourself to others, but more often than not, you're comparing someone's like chapter 45 to your chapter 1. And it's just like, it's not the same thing. You just got to give yourself time to grow.
Yeah, it's so easy to compare yourself to people nowadays too, because it's so easily accessible on your phone. It's like,
yes.
I can't imagine.
I do it every day.
Social media, it's a blessing and a curse all at once.
True.
Absolutely. You know what I did realize though? Like if I ever have kids, I know that there's always 2 different accounts for everything. They have their serious Facebook page and then their actual Facebook page.
Yes.
So that's what I'll be looking forward to, is knowing their like the ins and outs.
Right.
But like, how do you made this account? You're like, you made this account? All right, where's your real one? What do you mean? I'm like,
yeah,
bro, I was there when it was a thing. I know you got 2 accounts.
I don't need
you
your
said other one. Give it to me. Give me all of your accounts.
Well, see, it's funny like that you say that, like with like when you're doing something, like enough practice makes it good. Like recently, I got my like iCloud all hooked up to all of my Apple stuff, and I stumbled upon some really old scripts that I used to write back in my college days. Format is atrocious. English is worse than normal, and I'm okay at script writing in my opinion. But I'm just going back and looking at those, and I'm like, what was I doing? What am I saying? What is happening in this scene? And then I go read like a recent script. I'm like, okay, I know exactly what's going on here. I wrote it out. What was I doing then? But it's true though. Like with enough like practice and like me constantly making new scripts and stuff like that, you start to like get better at it as you go. And that's such a true thing. And I wish everyone like knows that. It's like, you're never going to be good right away. Just keep going and you're going to get there. Just take stuff.
Absolutely.
I didn't know you in college, but I guarantee your grammar in English is still the same as it was back then.
Oh no, it's worse. It's so worse. It's so worse. Because my problem is like
Brian used to write his scripts in Wingdings, so it's like it's just not even English.
Well, because like my problem is like, and it's something that I've always like battled throughout like my life, like even nowadays, like I have ADHD, so when I'm script writing or something, my brain is going like 100 miles per hour, not slowing down. The best way for me to describe it, they hear it all the time, but it's like a little mouse hole, and I have this huge pile of stuff, and I'm just trying to cram it into this little hole. And when I'm script writing, I can't keep up because my brain's trying to spit it out, and my fingers like, dude, I can't hold on. So what did you just say? What was the dialogue again? But now as I got better with it, I'm able to kind of slow down my brain and really break down like scenes or whatever that I'm writing. Be like, does that make sense? Like, hold on, I know that looks, and like Mike here is kind of like helping with that too. But I'm like, well, that's a cool scene, but does that make sense for the actual story? So you do grow. I feel like, just you have to like allow yourself to actually grow, because you're like a flower. You start as a seed and you have to keep blossoming.
I like to think of myself as a weed, but okay.
Let's do the duck analogy. You're a little duck, and then now you're big.
Exactly.
Little duck,
big duck.
Duck wings.
Oh, Brian, it's like this. Well, Brian, hold on, let me pick it up. See, you were like a little duck, but now you're a big duck. You're a big.
There you go.
That's a
I still follow the mama.
The day you were here, I went straight for the mama.
That might be the largest pop figure I've ever seen in my life. That thing is enormous.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
It's
Oh,
not
this ain't
bigger.
even the biggest one we got.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. I know you
This
got
one I got. There's bigger ones. Like they have life. They have ones that like they're taller than me. Man. Those are cost a pretty penny. I only got this one.
Whoa, they have a life-size one?
Oh my god, they have a squirrel
Dude, that
one.
would be terrifying. Could you imagine a life-size pop figure in your house? Like you come home
they
late
do.
at night and just these huge, like beady eyes staring at you. You're like, oh god.
They have a life-size one of Freddy, Funko, like the icon of Funko, and they have like a bunch of different ones, and they're like compared to my height, I think it's like a few feet smaller than me. I think they're like 3 feet tall or whatever, or 4 feet. But, like they're really big. From when I saw the photos, they look huge. I've never seen them in person, but like some of them are like not just the normal just character of him. They're also like different characters. Like they'll dress up as like an Jack Skellington or like a Marvel character. Or just like they have like limited releases. They did those, and these things are fucking so flipping huge.
I feel like this is really morbid, but I feel like it'd kill you if it landed on you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or you know, kill you in your sleep. It'll come to life and find you.
I don't know. That's so. I don't know about that.
It's gonna come to life.
I would be that person if like I knew that thing existed. I would be moving it around the apartment every like.
Yeah, you would.
Slowly. Just to kind of make people be like
window. So like when the neighbors pass by.
They're like, ah!
Just have it in a different window every day.
I got a window right there. I think I know what to do.
Reminds me of Black Santa.
Oh,
that's right.
I have a Black Santa in my house that my dad just refuses to put away, and I swear to God, it's in different places in the house every once in a while. Right now, it's in the dining room right now, somewhere in the corner.
Right?
I don't remember putting it there, and I don't think he put it there. So,
yeah, I think there's a photo of it on our Instagram, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
What? Me and my dad are practicing the same. He does not take down his Christmas lights ever. Christmas decorations, none of it. So I don't know if you guys know what an HOA is. But
Homeowners Association. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like, we got a letter because my dad had multicolored lights up, and my dad's like, "Oh, so we can't have multicolored lights up?" And so my dad decided he was just like, "I'm just gonna put a ton of lights out." I was like, "Let's not do this war with the HOA. We don't need this.
Take the power.
This is a fight we will win."
You might win.
Oh my god!
It's discrimination against lights.
They can't take all my lights.
He just puts a bunch up. It looks like the Christmas vacation house. Just all the lights.
Basically, I would not be surprised. Honestly, my dad's like a dad's dad. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, there's already things for like. Okay, good example is like you can buy a door stopper or you can make one. A lot of things like that in the house are basically like that. So.
Well, see, that's my dad, but he's not like crafty at all. He just wants to save money, so he's just like, well, I could probably rewire the house. It's fine. All right, good luck.
Is that why the gas is out, Mike?
Yeah, that's probably why the gas is out. I don't know.
I got it.
I can rewire this. 2 days later, Mikey, can you come help me with something? Yeah, Dad, what is it? We're rewiring this. What?
Do we get it fixed?
Yeah, the stove don't work no more.
I kind of like ripped it. I kind of ripped this wire here that said "Do not touch," and I might be seeing that. I'm tripping balls right now, so like, I need your assistance.
Yeah, I know better. I'm gonna just call somebody.
Yeah,
basically, I'm like, I hate calling people for things. Like, I try to fix things myself. Like, and I'll Google it too. Like, yo, what are home remedies that you can fix for this that's possible with these tools that I have? And like, I'll try it, and then I'll be like, my mom would yell at me, and she's like, "Hey, you can fix that. Even stuff I have to fix here." And I'm like, "No, I can fix this." She's like, "I got this." I'm like, "No, I can do this. I'm an independent woman." and then I'll be like, "Okay, ask my room, like, would you do this?" And like, just call. I'm like, "But will you help me?" It's like, "We can't do this. We're calling." I'm like, "I." And then we end up calling. It depends.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Man, I thought I could get out there and retile the roof, but it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, I had to retile my carpet, because someone
retile your carpet.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Wait, hold on.
You ever just retile your carpet? It's great.
But you know what I mean.
Top 10 life hacks.
Redo my carpet because someone spilled something on it.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's something you
Brian, don't hold it back. Brian.
I'm
gonna stare at that light.
Doesn't staring at lights make you have to sneeze more?
Yeah,
that's how it works for me.
My eyes hurt. I got like a big black dot like right here.
Okay, that's probably fine. You're fine.
That might be my eyeball. I have like black eyes.
Yeah, your brain is deteriorating at a rapid rate.
Sweet.
Good luck.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, maybe I'll just pass out on the stream then. Be like,
I don't do that. Oh no.
it'll be like the highlight of the stream. Like, what? Yeah, you didn't see this ending coming.
Speaking of deteriorate, never mind.
You can't start
I just
like
have
that.
Yeah, like what?
What?
I just
What do
gotta
I talk
say,
about?
I just gotta say one thing, Mike.
What?
Me and Brian. I'm not gonna say too much, just in case anybody else wants to watch it out there. We saw the train scene of what you were talking about for that one thing.
Oh, for
He's talking about
Invincible?
Invincible, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
I watched it too.
Wait, Christine, have
Oh,
you seen
yes,
all of
okay.
Invincible, or did you just see the scene?
We finished
saw
it.
it. all of them.
I'm caught up.
Oh, you got it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I recently watched it all too.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. It's a good show.
I have
So
to talk to
good.
somebody.
It
about
is
Okay.
really good.
You know
It is
what's
really
funny?
good, but that scene, I was just like, oh my god.
You know what's
It's
funny?
really intense. I
Yo,
mean,
bro, about that scene, it was funny. When I first saw Invincible, when it first came out, before it became like really, really hype popular, and I'm like, I saw the meme online, and I couldn't tell what the frick the meme was from because everyone was like changing and editing it to different shows and everything. I'm like, what is this? And
Oh,
then
yeah.
Jason, my roommate, played the video, and I'm like, isn't that Invincible? He's like, you know this is it? And he like showed it to me, and I started dying at that part when they're like, he's beating him, and I'm laughing so hard. And he's like, yeah, that's where the meme's from. I want to see where it was from. I'm like, oh my god, that's the meme.
Oh my god,
Like,
he
that's
was beating him quite literally around the world.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah.
I was dying. I was laughing so hard because my favorite phrase from that, which is I know it's a bad, it's a horrible scene, but my favorite phrase from that whole entire battle, he said, when he's fighting, he's like, you know what? I can wait. Punch. With 17 more years. Punch. I can make another one. Punch. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that was intense.
that was
I'm
so
like,
crazy.
I was
My
like,
favorite
oh.
thing to do now is like ask anyone if they've never watched it to watch it with me because I just want to see their reaction on the first episode.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's-
I just
oh my
my
god.
friend literally was just like jaw
Right?
dropped, everything silent.
Well,
I was
they-
like, oh,
Oh, where we
Yeah,
just what?
the entire first episode, like it plays out as if it were like, I don't know, like a Justice League show or whatever. And then the
Right.
end, you're like,
Oh, where are we going?
Right.
me okay, my 5-year-old son likes superheroes, but maybe this isn't the show for him.
Right.
yeah.
Go watch Iron Man.
That show took like a huge turn. I'm like, okay, this is
That's how it gets you. It reels you in. It's like, ha, look
Yeah.
at cute cartoon. Nope.
I loved every second of it though. I
Yeah, it
don't
was-
think there
it
was
was
like
really
a
good.
slow
Oh.
episode for me.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Because of the show now, I told Mo yesterday because we finished it yesterday, and I'm like, I kind of want to read the comics now. I want to see what the
Yeah.
comics are like.
Yeah, I was
Definitely.
thinking that too because I was like, man, because I think it's the entire run of the comics is done, right? Like it's complete.
I
Mhm.
think
So like,
Think
I don't
so?
know.
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
I'm not entirely sure, but like I was considering picking up the comics and reading it, but then I'm like, I don't know if I want to like spoil because I want to continue watching the show too, and I'm not sure if I want
Yeah.
to spoil stuff. so-
same.
Mhm.
Well,
You know, so my boyfriend is the type where he like has to read the comic books or even the manga or whatever.
Mhm.
So, like he likes to really stay informed. And he was reading the comic books, and then he said himself that he stopped because it's so good that he doesn't want to spoil it for himself. So if that's any indication,
Yeah.
maybe you should
That's
just
how I
like hold off a
feel.
little bit, you know?
Right.
'Cause-
You
But
know,
when
but
these-
I don't want to wait for the next
my
season.
God.
I want
Yeah, when
it
these
now.
seasons come in,
I know it's the hardest thing to do. I'm so impatient. That's why I love Netflix when they just upload everything. I like to
Yes.
binge it,
Yeah.
you know? So the fact that I like have waited for every single episode definitely says something. Because even when it comes to anime, like I do not like waiting for the next episode to come out. But
my
I've been
God,
very
yes.
patient with
Right.
like Demon Slayer and My Hero and
Yo, Demon Slayer's finally finished. Go catch up.
Yo.
Oh my god,
I watched the movie.
The movie, yes.
I watched the movie.
Here we go.
man.
Here goes Mo.
Oh my
Right.
god. I never
Right.
thought I was oh my so I went to go see it in theaters, bro. Oh my god. I had the whole theater to myself, by the way, because just nobody was out at the movies. I'm just sitting in like 3 different chairs because I can. No one else is here. I might as well.
He just sprawled out.
I'm like, nah, I like this angle over here. I like this angle.
Actually.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, this is new. I liked it. I did not
You
think I
got
was.
snacks in every chair going down.
I was actually like tearing up a little bit at the end. I'm like, wow, this is actually a really good movie.
Yeah, I wasn't like
Yeah.
anticipating they were gonna like end it that way, and I was like, bro, we just saw you like an episode ago.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my
It's
god,
so
man.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy.
And like,
Definitely. Oh, recommend.
Mhm.
I wanted to go see it twice. I'm like, this is the last day it's here. I should go see it again. Nah,
I
I
think
can't.
it's still in theaters for me because I just watched it Sunday and they were showing showings this week. I think.
I'm on my way.
I'll be there.
And, the guy saw it. I think the second day it came out, the first day or second day it came out, but I couldn't go because I was at a wedding. And then I told them I came back. I'm like, I want to go see it. But I don't want to go by myself. And they're like, I want our brother friends had to go too. They're like, okay, we'll all four go together. We don't care. We'll see it again. And I'm like, yay, because they watched it in subbed, and I didn't want to read subtitles, so we saw in dubbed. And I'm like,
Very, very cool.
no, Michelle, I don't know. I liked it in
miss
dub.
going with
I
you.
love watching that movie in dub, all because I don't know if y'all watch Attack on Titan, but like the voice actor for Eren is freaking Inosuke, and I was dying the whole entire time I hear that guy's voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's his voice actor.
Ooh,
So it
I
just
might
makes
have
me
to
laugh.
watch it in dub now, actually.
Yeah, just for Inosuke,
Lovely, I
it's
have a purpose.
hilarious. Especially when he
Ah.
takes off the mask, it just makes it even funnier.
I feel like
So-
most, since there's like no one going to the movie theater, because I've done this before. I was gonna mention like the most criminal feeling I've ever felt was bringing pasta to a movie theater.
Wait, how did you get that in there?
I'm dying.
Yeah, what the
But legitimately, it was legit pasta, like
Oh,
Italian, heavy. It was amazing.
You
And
got
I
the
was just like,
Parmesan
this is
cheese.
wrong, but so right.
It's like a block of actual Parmesan and a cheese grater.
just
That's awesome.
How did you do it like warm?
Like I don't remember how I did that, but I just like remember like just sitting there because I think we had like a plan and we were eating and we're just like, let's just take the food to go. Maybe we can just bring it inside, and we did it. And I was just like, this is amazing, the best experience ever. So
This
I
is
didn't know
it.
most wanted to just start bringing stuff.
No, I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But, like we did that before, where we get to go like, it's so expensive buying food at a movie theater. So like we
Yeah.
bought McDonald's or something, and then like whoever has a purse, we get the women to put their purses in, or if we wear hoodies, we just like put our hands in the hoodie and hold it in
Yeah.
there like this. I've had like stuff in my shirt, whatever. 'Cause, like, they're not gonna judge. They're gonna think that girl is just
Right.
a little big. So like we just had all this stuff in there, and then we'll get to the theater, be like, all right, who wanted what? Here you go. Here you go. Open the purse. Yo, we're set.
It reminds me of that time we snuck like Chick-fil-A into the movies.
That
Did we do that in
yeah.
that One Piece movie when we came to visit you?
That movie, fire, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I feel like Mo would take it a step further and he'd have like the whole table set, like the silverware and the
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and like a
right.
tablecloth
And you go
and
like this.
yeah.
It's like a dinner tray.
like a
This
lit
is just
candle and
my-
everything.
This
Basically,
is just my
pulled around.
backpack. Just in case I have an episode. You don't want to know.
Just in case I have an episode, man.
You don't want to be here when that happens. So let me have my stuff.
I think the biggest thing I snuck into
Should
the
we ever do
movies.
that? Ugh,
I
that'd
think
be
the biggest
awesome.
thing I snuck in was Chinese food. Yeah,
That'd be so
that
cool.
was great.
Because it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this image, but someone on like Magic Mountain, they carried like a fake TV
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
GameCube and the GameCube controller.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
so cool.
I love
I
that.
was like, that is so awesome. I question to this day how they even got that stuff on there, but
Right.
You know what? Now I'm
It's
gonna
who
push
you
the
know.
envelope.
Yeah,
Not- not
yeah,
too
it's
many
probably
people.
they just knew the dude running Magic Mountain that day, and they're like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
fine, you're fine.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
That's
I'm gonna
the
see if I
whole
can.
logic.
I'm gonna see if I can get like an 18-inch Jimmy John sub in there to the movie theater.
Yes,
Just
bro.
pulling it out. Just hold on.
Just
It's-
put
it's-
it down
it's a
your
good one.
shirt into like part of your pants.
Yo, man, I get it to people who like bring like freaking like chessboards and all that other crap, and they have all this stuff in there. And I'm
What?
like, yeah, have you
Wait.
seen those pictures from Magic Mountain? They'll come down and like the photos, they
Oh.
take photos, and they'll have like the little chessboards and all this other stuff. And I'm like,
I thought like in
No.
the movies they're sneaking chessboards in.
No.
like-
Well, in case the movie's boring, you need something to do.
yeah,
yeah, it's true. I suppose.
it's true. Backup plan.
yeah. Or you can be like my one friend who's just like, if the movie's so boring, he'll just pass right out and take a nap. Put the recliner. Peace. Wake me up in 2 hours. Okay.
Nah, I spent money. I'm watching. I don't
Yeah,
care
I was
if
gonna
it's
say
for.
it's an expensive
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
See,
I can nap
I've
at
only,
home.
I've only done that once. Mike, when I was with you, me and Mike were partaking in an evening event of like going to a multiple spot to have some type of beverage in multiple different spots. But
It's just like secret code. It's like, we were partaking in a certain type of fluid.
When we got to the last place, Mike, Mike, I think you looked at me and just randomly was just like, "Yo, you want to see Deadpool 2?"
No, we already had plans to see Deadpool too, but
Oh,
we had
okay,
to
that's
wait
what it
till night because your girlfriend at the time didn't get off work until later.
That's right.
So-
That's right.
But
then
by that point we were so tired. Like I liked the movie, but I was struggling to stay awake. I was like, oh god, I can't do this.
At one point in Deadpool 2, I don't even remember when, but I remember Deadpool building the team, and then when I remember watching the movie, the team was jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
So I don't know the in between of that movie.
If I recall, there wasn't much in between.
Is that what you're saying? You just time skipped.
Yeah, pretty much.
exactly. But I remember just waking up, and for some reason my hand was like in the popcorn. I'm like,
Yeah, I
What
remember that. I
happened? What did
kept
I
trying
do?
to reach for popcorn, but you were blocking it the whole time. I'm like, man, this guy's taking a long time to get his popcorn.
Right.
He's really trying.
Feeling the popcorn.
Yeah, trying to find the perfect piece. Like, nah, not enough butter. Hold on.
Yo. So
the
this
red buttery one.
this legit just happened to me. What was it? Last Saturday. Yeah, for Mother's Day. So like before we saw the movie on Mother's Day, Saturday our friend came over like late at night, and I'm like, all right, well I'm off tomorrow. I'm like getting up early, so my mom like, we'll just chillax all downstairs. We'll play some Smash, yeah. And then he saw one of the posters in Jason's room, which was Princess Mononoke. And he never like he watches some anime, but he's like doesn't know anything about Studio Ghibli or any of that stuff. And I'm like, bruh, I got my parents' HBO. They got Studio Ghibli on there. So I went downstairs
Yes.
and like for whatever reason Studio Ghibli wasn't working, so I had to like port it from my phone to the TV. But no, we have smart TVs, so we're Gucci. And I'm like, we're watching Princess Mononoke. He's like, okay. I'm like, how old is this movie? I'm like, 97. Made a year after I was born. I'm like, you're gonna like it. I know how the movie happens, okay? But the last thing I remember, but I was so tired. Like by the time we finished this movie, it was like 3 a.m. It did not. I think we started this around like 1. I wasn't realizing I wasn't tired. I'm like, got this. We're all getting comfy. They're comfy like on the floor. John's comfy on the other side of the couch. I'm like laying this way, and I'm like, I got this. I'm like, this is a good movie. I'm gonna watch it. The last thing I remembered was like, God, they were like the main character. I can't remember his name right now, but like, he just like saved Princess Mononoke, and the next thing I know, they're about to go. They're at the war. The scene happened, and I was like, wait, you're supposed to meet the wolf? You're supposed to be. Wait a minute, where's the wolf talk scene? Wait, where are the boars? I'm like, oh, they're all
Where'd
dead.
my movie go?
And like, I just opened my eyes and I'm like looking around. I'm like, does anyone know I passed out? And I'm like adjusting myself to like see. I'm like, no one's looking at me. I'm like, I looked at my phone. It said almost 3 a.m. The movie was almost over. I'm like, bro, where did my time go?
Well, see, at least it was a movie you had already seen before. That's the worst when you pass out during a movie you haven't seen and you wake up like, I don't know what's happening and I'm too afraid to ask.
You know what the worst
Exactly.
thing is? So like I'm on the other end because Jason falls asleep so quickly, and I'm telling you, like 5 minutes into any
Oh,
movie,
he's so lucky.
right? And so
I
then
wish I could do that.
hate it because then he tells me every single time, "Oh man, I fell asleep the first time we watched it. Let's watch it again." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." He falls asleep again. I've literally watched a movie 7 times. I kid you not.
7
And
times?
I'm the type of person where like I have to stay awake. If there's like some noise going on or something, I'm awake. Like, oh, and I hate it. So I remember vividly, I was watching this scary movie. I think it was The Conjuring 2.
Oh,
And
Oh.
it's based off of a real story, which is
Yeah.
even more scarier. So
Mhm.
I'm laying on his hand, right? And all I see from my point of view is his hand go up like this. And he's like, and I'm like, what is going on?
No one told me this movie was 3D.
I looked out. I was like, Jay, wake up. And he's just like, what? And I was like, did you not just see what you did? And he's just like, oh yeah, I was having a nightmare.
Oh, what? Just so casual.
I did not
Oh
want to
my
drive
gosh.
over that. I was like, I'm good. I'm done. Especially when it shows the pictures afterwards, like of the real
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
case.
reconjuring. Yeah.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, I'm sleeping over. You owe this to me. Not doing it.
Bro,
Yeah.
y'all know the movie Annabelle?
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, the
Haven't
first
seen
one, I
it.
don't know about the second one, but like the first one, it's based off of they made a second one, but I think the second one just more just for the movie, the fan base, whatever. I don't think it's related to the actual story, but it's a real doll. Obviously, they changed it to make the doll look more scarier compared to what it really looks like in real life. Because it looks like a little patchy doll, whatever. And those things are not scary at all.
like a Raggedy Ann kind of doll, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raggedy doll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made it, more scarier. And like that movie, like it creeps me out. 'Cause I hate dolls. Well, I watched it late at night. I got home, like, you know what? I think I might actually go to sleep tonight. I get home and I forget I own like 100 or so pop figures with big ass eyes, big pop figures. And then when I'm going to bed, they're all like half of them are facing me though. They're facing my wall. I'm like, I literally sat there, got up, and I tell the ones I couldn't reach because they were on my glass containers, up above. So I'm like, all right, can't look that way. I looked at all the ones that were like facing me on my bookshelf or my desk, and I'm like, turn around. I'm like, y'all facing me in the morning? Y'all are gonna go in the trash. Like, I'm gonna have to see you all like this, so make sure y'all don't turn around.
Daddy's like, I brought you into this house. I could take you out.
It's
Yeah.
all scattered
Aren't you
all
glad
over.
you didn't have a life-size one then?
Yeah. That'd be terrifying.
The package.
God, no, man, I turned them all around and then I went to bed. Like, I was supposed. And my mom came in the room the next day for something. She's like, why are all your pop figures facing the other direction? And I'm like, I didn't want them to look at me going to bed. And she's like, what? I'm like, I saw Annabelle last night. I didn't want to die from my pop
It
figures.
was a test of faith, mother, and they passed.
And live by the pops, you die by the pops. I wasn't real, but to live that life.
Mm-mm. Don't live the real Toy Story.
I was a small soldier, if anyone remembers that movie.
Oh, that's a
What
good
the heck? Where did my... Oh, all right. I put that over there. I remember I have a couple of figures on my desk, and I just remembered I moved them like the other day. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
It's a fake
Mine are
memory.
gone,
You
too.
never moved them. They moved themselves.
That's true.
Enjoy
I'm coming in
sleeping
your house.
tonight.
I'm moving them.
Yeah, but Small Soldiers. That was legit the best movie.
I'm gonna open my door and
It might
Black
be
Panther's
top
going to be
tiers
on the stairs.
of them. Gonna have to top those.
So, real quick before we wrap up the podcast,
Mhm.
I just want to ask you one more question. So, you're a Nintendo ambassador, right?
Mhm.
What is the process of, I guess, starting that for listeners who are curious about that?
So I was in the lucky position because it's crazy because when I talk to other ambassadors, the process is always so different. And I was in the position where they reached out to me, which I've heard is, I think, the majority, although some reach out to them. I just don't know how. But yeah, I mean, they saw my amiibos, and at the time they were trying to add people into their program, and they were just like, hey, would you be interested? And so, I mean, I quickly jumped at it because realized early on, like at the age of 18, like right out of high school, I really ambitiously sent a letter to Nintendo to try to hire me with no education and no experience.
Wow, that's confidence.
I got the nicest decline ever, which was really sweet. And I still have the letter to this day because they even responded, which was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell everyone, like, even though you hit like maybe like a roadblock or whatever, those roadblocks are meant to determine how badly you want it. So the fact that they reached out to me, I immediately jumped at the opportunity. They do interview you, and then they tell you whether or not you get into the program. And I mean, that's basically how it is. It's really nothing crazy or special. I know, like I said, a lot of ambassadors have different stories, but mine was, I think, the normal route. But I would say that's why when you go to E3, just network. Like whatever company you want to work with, whether it be Bandai Namco, PlayStation, whatever, all the execs are there. And that's why I really, truly hope that they don't take away that in life reality people meeting, complex. Because online is amazing. You can definitely build relationships online, but it's, I believe, so much more memorable in person because you get to see their facial reactions, their voice, how tall they are, how small they are. You know, it's like it's just more real and tangible. And that's why I tell everyone, I mean, if you're really wanting to get into this industry, go to E3, print out those business cards, pass them out, because you never know who you talk to. You know, and I've gotten the opportunity to meet a lot of people, whether it be the gaming chair, or the monitors, or whatever. Like all those sponsorships that I got are from people that I've actually met in real life and built a relationship with. Yeah. So that's why I say network. You know, E3 is really fun. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool to enjoy everything, but also see it as like a business opportunity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
awesome.
it's nothing too crazy, but
No, that's super
everyone
cool.
goes through that.
Thank you so much for taking some time out to talk to us today. It's been a blast.
No, it's really fun. I love podcasts, and you guys have all been amazing. Like this has been really, really fun. Brian, Mark, Danny, for having me. Like this is an absolute pleasure. So, yeah, hopefully in real life at E3.
Oh yeah,
that would be great. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm sure I speak for everyone here when I say you're always welcome back if you want to just talk to us again.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
No, you can.
We love having guests on the show. It's fun. It's cool. I like it.
It is really, really fun.
I like it.
I was gonna say, Chris, we need to get an updated photo. It's been too long since we've seen each other. We got to see each other again.
True.
Yeah.
Oh man, human interactions are the most.
Yes.
So that's
it
why
really is.
So everyone can finally hug and talk in the same area.
Right.
I would be like, yo, one room, let's go.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta get a hug out of Mike here. Like he's just, I know you've gotten stronger, bro.
I'll hug the life out of you, Mo.
Please,
I don't know what
I
I
mean,
really
yeah.
pictured, like Mike and Mo hugging, but then like behind Mo is like deers.
It's a whole line of
my
deer.
God. They're like, what are you doing to our master?
And the deer comes over and starts hugging both of you.
I would freak out. Oh
That would be so beautiful.
I'm getting a Brian deer costume.
I would freak out.
We all got deer costumes, and when Mo walks through, just look at
That would be so cool. Like deer onesies. Oh my god.
Please don't give them ideas.
Yes.
They'll do it.
I know what we're doing for next New Year.
Christine, where can people find more of you if they want to see more of your stuff?
Ooh, I'm on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I do stuff for Nintendo for like their DIYs. If you want to learn how to make art, I'm on YouTube. But yeah, I suck at this.
Yeah, I know. The plugs are always the weirdest thing. It's GandaKris, right? GandaKris.
Yeah. Or Miss. I could, you know how hard it is to get all the social media lined up.
It's impossible. All my tags are different because I can never get the same one twice.
Right.
My name's unique. I got it all the same.
Yeah, we'll definitely put your links inside of our chat for you so people can easily click it there if they want to.
Yeah, all the links right there to check all her amazing workout on all social medias.
Yeah, look at her amiibo stuff, her DIY stuff. Dude, I loved your origami too when I watched the Origami King
cool.
one. That one was really good. It was awesome. She's very talented. Go watch her stuff. Give her love and support. She's very creative.
Yeah, she's an amazing artist. Definitely give her some love.
1 billion followers? Wow. Cool.
No, not at all. I mean, that'd be crazy. I don't think I can manage that much attention, honestly. I get too nervous already. So.
It's a billion on Earth.
Thank you so much for having me, though, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yeah.
And thank you for everyone who is listening at home on all of our different platforms, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. We love you guys so much. Thank you for guys for listening. And if you do want to check us out live, we do the podcast every Wednesday at 7:30 on Twitch. So you can come check us out, hang out with us. We'll even read chat too on screen a lot of times. So come hang out, come mingle, and we'll have fun guests as well on the show a lot. So yes, thank you so much for coming.
Follow them. Do it. That's right.
Yes.
Do it!
Follow them now.
Do it now. I'll take a shot of tequila.
Before we go, I have to ask you one personal question.
Oh.
Did you ever get to meet Shigeru Miyamoto?
What was it? I breathe the same air.
That's good enough.
Literally,
That's
he
plenty.
passed by everyone because I think he knows, like, because they had the Super Smash Bros. Event before E3. Do you guys remember that? Like, they're in
Yeah.
it was, like, a tournament or something. Yeah, so I was at that theater. And I mean, everyone was swarming him. So no. I wanted to get a jar and capture his air and then put it in there. And then
Just this is mine.
I have his breath.
But no, that didn't happen.
Doesn't he have the amiibo that you made of him, if I remember correctly?
No, so the only people that have the amiibos are Reggie and Doug Bowser.
That's who has
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
still
nice.
awesome.
Maybe one day, but I mean, it's an honor regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. He's a really hard man to catch.
I
You
can imagine.
gotta bring the rope. At the least you'd be like,
Please, 1 second, please.
I don't have you before I get arrested. Hello. I shake your hand, and then I'll be arrested by security. I'm perfectly fine with it.
I need more of your air, please.
Breathe in here.
Breathe it in here real quick.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I'm
Well,
your hair.
Well, thank you again, and thank you everyone who watched. We'll see you guys in the next Fire Bar.
Bye.
Bye.